Okay, good morning. Cold January morning outside. We might get our first snowfall tomorrow. But what I wanted to talk about was, I love these Osage bows. It's quite addicting making them. But this is a bow that I had made, and I love it. Look, it's got a little snaky to it, you see? Snaky. See how it curves around, and then it curves around the other way on the bottom. And what happened was, it developed this crack. Okay, you see that line? And I strung it, and the best I could, I put some really strong epoxy. This JB Weld, Clear Weld, is supposed to be the strongest epoxy that they make. So I mixed it up, and the two parts, and I put it in there. And I noticed there's just a slight sign of a little crack in the back. So my friend Cliff, who actually got me involved in this and taught me what to do, many, many years ago, he made a Osage orange bow from, I believe it was Mystic Bows, and he developed a crack in it. And what they did was they put a leather Band-Aid on it. So we have leather strips soaking in water, and we have this epoxy we're going to mix up real quick. I took the finish off, and we're going to coat it with epoxy, wrap the wet leather around, okay, clamp it, let it dry, and his held for I don't even know how many years, but a ton of years, and he shot it, and it's fine. And it's like a compression fitting, and a flexible compression fitting. This way it holds that crack together and it don't spread. So here we go. We're going to work on it right now. Okay, let me just readjust this down a little bit. Okay. Got the epoxy here. We're mixing it up real good. Okay, I may have to make a couple of batches of this. Don't know if it's going to be enough. Now what I like to do is I'm going to start and put one right at the bottom. Right at the bottom of that crack. Okay. And I'm leaving it strung because I want it to be under a little tension here. Okay. Okay, I'm going to lay it down here. Okay, I'm going to get one of these leather strips that are wet. And when it dries, they're going to dry tight. Okay, get some of the moisture out. Okay. There's a leather side and a kind of like a felt side. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to coat the back of this too. All right, just to coat the back of this. And then we're going to make our first wrap and see how it comes out. Okay, and we're going to pull it tight, 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 tight. Tight. And then we're going to cut it. We're going to cut it here. Let me wipe this stuff off. I should have really put gloves on. Okay. Let me get the scissors out. And we're going to pull this real tight, and we're going to put the clamp on it. Of course, when you got glue and you're working and you're in a rush, nothing comes easy, right? It's always slow. So let's try this again. I'm going to loosen it up and pull it a little snugger. You know what, let me try one of these speed clothes, see if this works a little better. Pull it tight. Okay. Yeah, let's give you a quick look. Okay, we got the Band-Aid on. Show you. I'm gonna just reclamp it a little bit more and we're gonna let it sit. Okay, we're gonna push it on. There it is. Okay, let me get this off my hands and then we'll put gloves on and do the next two. Okay, got gloves on. I patted this leather strap dry. We still got, let me see how this is. Oh, we still got time on this glue. Let's put a little on this here. Okay. Let's put a little around the next piece that we're going to do. Okay, which is going to be the middle. Okay. Now we're going to take this here again. It's a little difficult doing it with by yourself, but we're going to make it work. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to take this. This is deer hide, by the way, that I had from years ago. It's tanned. And once again, the what we're putting down is the soft side. Okay, let's check it out. I believe it's tight enough. I believe it's tight enough anyway. Can wipe off the excess. I wiped off the excess when I shut off the camera too. Okay. Okay, let's check it out. Band-Aid, leather Band-Aid number 2. Okay. Now we're going to let this dry and then we'll get back to it. All right. So let me clean up my mess here. Okay. Looks good so far. We'll get back to you. Okay. Cleaned up and we're ready for the third and final leather Band-Aid. Okay, I got the fresh epoxy here. Gonna dry this up. By the way, these are these leather strips. Just a rough strips that I cut, and they're about an inch, a little less than an inch wide, just so you know. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna lay this down. I'm gonna mix it up and cut some sticks. And what I want to do is, the reason I'm doing all 3 today is because I want to let this, even though this cures quickly, I want the leather to dry and tighten. I want this to cure overnight. And then what we're going to do is, we're going to take it out. We're going to do a little shooting tomorrow. Although they said it might be bad weather coming. So if that's the case, I'm going to shoot it in the house in the living room. And you're going to watch me take a bunch of shots. Okay. I just want to get this over here on this. Okay. Okay, let's lay this down for a minute. Okay, right on the bottom of this last crack. Okay. We're going to cover it good. I'm going to put a little bit on the line there too. Sides. On the bottom. Okay. Okay. Here we go. See, I'd like to raise this up a little bit if I can. Put it down on something that'll be a little raised. That'll help. Okay. Here we go. It's sticky, it's messy, but I know it works. I've seen it. So here we go. Pull it snug, nice and snug. I'm gonna cut it. Peel it back. I want to make sure I got enough glue on this. Okay. So pull it around. Okay. Remove the glove. I'll worry about cleaning my hands later. Pull it one more time around. I'm going to cut this a little back further. You know, as we do when you lift and you see where you want that clamp and where you want the leather to stop. Okay. I don't want it on the end, you know, like hanging over on the edge. Being difficult. The last one's always difficult, right? There we go. Okay, here we go. That felt really uncomfortable. It was a little hard working, trying to beat the clock, trying not to get glue on anything. Okay. So, I see the Band-Aid on this one slipped up. One more set. Want to make sure these Band-Aids are tight and they're where they're supposed to be. Okay, that looks like it. Okay. That's it. Look at that, no glue on the table. And then what I'm gonna do is just hang this. I'm gonna hang this up. Give you an idea what it looks like. All right, that took a long time. And you know, it's not the smoothest operation, but I got it done. All right, now we're gonna let this dry and see what happens. Okay, I just wanna let you know what I did was, after about 7 minutes, this epoxy started to set up, and I took off one clamp at a time, and I cleaned the clamp, made sure there was no epoxy on the leather where it was going to be clamped, reclamped it. I didn't want to find, you know, tomorrow morning find all these clamps, you know, glued in place. Took the next one off. I used a little, you know, 91% alcohol, wiped the clamps, same thing. So now I reclamped it. I know the clamps aren't going to be stuck on there forever. The leather's still damp, full of glue, and like I said, tomorrow we'll take them off and we'll do a little shooting. All right, see how it goes. Okay, it's been a few days since the last video of me putting this leather Band-Aid on. We had bad weather, there was all kinds of things. I got caught up working on stuff, but it's all dry now. And just to show you how it looks, you know, we wet the leather, wrapped it around, clamped it with the epoxy on it, and then took off the clamps, and it's dry, okay? The leather shrinks a little too, and so my friend that did it, he had his for years, a lot of years, and he never had a problem with it. You know, this fix kept it from the crack from expanding. See the crack? Okay, so now tomorrow we're having 60-mile-an-hour winds here on Long Island, and we're supposed to have a couple inches of rain come in. So I got a few things to do. So what we're going to do is just take a couple of shots in the house at the target, and I'll just show you. This is the first bow I made. Broke. I used the draw knife and went down too much. And this is the second one I made. And everything was fine. I couldn't get it tillered because it had a weird knot and twist in the limb. And I steamed it, and I put recurve limbs on it. And when I went to straighten it out, I heard a little pop. And after a few days, I sanded it, and I looked at it, and I saw that the crack developed, okay? So hopefully it's good now forever. And then I made a Christmas bow that I take out hunting all the time. Hunting season's coming to an end. I set out tonight, didn't see any deer. I haven't seen any deer in that spot in a while. And I have one more stave coming that I'm gonna make a 3D bow out of, and because 3D season's next month. So if it comes and I get it fixed, that'll be my 3D bow, hopefully. So let's just take a couple of shots. Okay, take a couple more shots here. You know, it pulls back fine. The limb bends fine. Okay, let me see if you can see. I'll pull back the limb. See how it flexes? It's flexed, it's fine, right? So hopefully I get a lot of years out of this. And the bow shoots really good. I mean, you know, I got a couple arrows touching here. I got a couple arrows touching. And this one was the first one, a little lower. So that's the end of this video. It was a leather Band-Aid for a crack on your self bow. Okay, and the leather Band-Aid seemed to work well. Okay, so just figured I'd share that with you, all right? Okay, watch my other videos on Bear Bow Joe. You never know what I'm gonna post. And maybe you'll see me shooting a couple of 3D shoots with the new bow I'm gonna make. I'm waiting for the log to come in so I can turn that log into a 3D bow. All right? Have a good evening.